Hey, I'm Jon Thelen, host of Lindy's Fish Ed TV. I spend an awful lot of time on the ice, whether it's out here for work or whether I'm out here for fun. And man, I'll tell you what, there's one thing that drives me crazy when I get out on the ice and I'm fishing, and that's interference in my sonar unit. Whether it's the guy over there, or my son sitting right next to me on a Saturday, the last thing I want is interference, but I also want everybody to be able to use their sonar units and see what's going on down there. It's one of the reasons I use the brand new Humminbird Helix 5 and 7 Chirp IR units. These things are just phenomenal, and I really want to drill down to what makes that chirp interference reduction so good. Everyone has interference issues. I don't care where you're fishing. Whether you got a buddy with a flasher over here of a totally different brand, a guy sitting right next to you with the same unit, ultimately you're gonna have interference issues. And that's because nowadays we're sending so much power down there. I mean, we're just jamming power down there to see everything that's down on the bottom and see that whole water column. But as we've done that, we've sent a lot more noise down there. But man, the Humminbird Helix, these chirp units have got it figured out. And it's with the CIR, it's chirp interference reduction. And I'm gonna show you exactly how this works. I've got a Humminbird Ice 55 flasher sitting right next to me here. And it could be any brand, but I just chose to have that one here. What I'm gonna do is actually turn this thing on. And what you're gonna see is all of a sudden over here on my Ice Helix 7 chirp unit, I'm now getting interference. I mean, all of a sudden that screen just changed, but they have made this so simple and easy to use. I actually see an IR portion right down here in the bottom of my screen, and it says right now it's off. I don't have any interference reduction turned on. All I've got to do is hit the check mark on my screen, and I've got 6 modes that I can scroll through until I find the cleanest screen possible. And there it is right there. On Chirp IR number 3, I have just totally cleaned this screen up. But here's what's cool too. This screen's clear too. For whatever reason, this thing has cleaned up both sides, and these transducers are right next to each other. So ultimately, I know that I can sit here. If my son were fishing right next to me, he can have his own sonar unit. I can have mine right over here. And here's the other thing. I get no accuracy reduction here. I am seeing everything. And as soon as I turn that Chirp IR to where I want it and get it set, and I get rid of that interference, I can actually even bump up my gain a little bit if I want, so that I can get even more detail. Ultimately, this Chirp IR system is the best I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like this on any other unit out there, and it's only available on the Ice Helix units. The 5 and the 7 Chirp IRs, I'll tell you what, these things are the best, and they're the best no matter what it is I'm doing. I mean, I've got everything in here. I've got GPS, I got flasher mode, I've got regular 2D sonar mode, and I've got the absolute best interference reduction that you can get. Chirp IR, it's on these Helix units, and you definitely want to have it.